The Ducks are number one in the poll. Can you imagine that? Dylan Gabriel goes crazy, throws for 271 yards, another couple touchdowns. The Ducks keep on winning. Here's the weird part of the conversation with the Ducks. In the last 6 weeks in college football, we have now had 4 different number one teams. Bama, Georgia, Texas, Ohio State, and now Oregon is number one. This is the 5th different number one team in the country since the beginning of the college football season. Texas, there is no quarterback controversy, even though they benched the starter, Quinn Ewers. Texas got smoked by Georgia, 30-15. They sat Ewers down because of turnovers. They went to the kid freshman, Arch Manning. Manning kind of put his finger in the dike, stopped the bleeding. They went back to Ewers at the end of the game. Steve Sarkisian says, Quinn is my starter going forward. Alabama, they are not the same program post-Nick Saban. Alabama just scuffles, struggles, and gets beat. Jalen Milroe is still putting up really good numbers. He was on my Heisman potential list to start the year. He's not there anymore. It doesn't seem to have any help around him. That's a big issue. They got a really good freshman receiver. They got a freshman running back, but it's just not the same driven program as it was under Nick Saban. They're going to need some help, I think, in the offseason. USC, holy cow. They get beat by Maryland. East Coast road trip. They blow the lead. Fourth quarter mismanagement again by Lincoln Riley. They are 3-4. All 4 losses were by a touchdown or less. All 4 losses, they had the lead in the fourth quarter and screwed it up. And here they are in the fourth quarter at Maryland, one of the final possessions of the game, with a chance to win it going down the field, and they're facing a 4th and 1 with no timeouts in their pocket. If you run the ball, you get the fresh set of downs and at least a minute and a half to go on the clock to get it to close field goal range. On 4th and 1, this is USC. Big backs, big linemen, 5-star recruits. Lincoln Riley tries a 57-yard field goal on a 4th and 1.
57 yards?
And it's blocked. And allows Maryland to recover. Maryland goes down the field with their quarterback, Billy Edwards, who threw the hell out of the ball. By the way, the Danton Lynn defense doesn't work at USC, didn't work at UCLA. They go down, and Billy Edwards scores a game-winning touchdown. And Lincoln Riley, clock management. Lincoln Riley, bad decisions, fourth quarter. The week prior, he had all these timeouts in his pocket and didn't use them. And they wound up throwing an interception when, if they had game planned a week ago, they would have won that game too. So Lincoln Riley has taken a lot of heat in USC. How about UCLA? East Coast road trip. Finally won. Snapped the 5-game losing streak. They beat Rutgers, but that's Rutgers. I will say that Ethan Garbers stood in there and he made plays. The quarterback, 383 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. He went 32 for 38 throwing the football. So Bieniemy and his playbook and his coaching seems to started to click with Garbers. Garbers, to me, still takes way too many hits, still turns the ball over. But at Rutgers, he was 32 for 38 for 383. Just fascinating to see what's happened to SC and where UCLA is. Comments?
Well, first of all, the Dylan Gabriel Oregon story is great. It was really interesting seeing the Buckeyes playing in Eugene.
Yeah.
Because if they ever did face off, it was usually in a bowl game or some neutral site. So that was cool. I was rooting for Texas, but Georgia was just a way higher caliber team. And yeah, Arch Manning came in, he ran the ball a bit, but Ewers was clearly, overmatched by that defense. I mean, he couldn't penetrate it. It's nice to see a team like Texas that's not in the Big Ten or the SEC to be number one, but now they're not number one anymore. How far did they fall in the poll?
Good question. Did they go to 5?
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then I look at these other teams. Alabama, I feel bad for Kalen DeBoer. Maybe Nick Saban kind of saw it coming and took it and left when he saw the pipeline of recruits and who he had. I'm wondering if Kalen DeBoer is realizing that. And then I think about SC and that flight home from the East Coast must have been miserable. Everyone thought Lincoln Riley is this guru, this offensive genius, and yet he's screwing up his play calling and his clock management. I mean, it's going to get to a point here pretty soon where I think SC is going to have a big regret about going to the Big Ten.
Yeah, you can only pull the card out of your shirt pocket that says we lost on the final possession. How many times can you do that? He's lost 4 games, all at the end of games, most all of them because he didn't get the job done from an offensive standpoint when he had the ball. They could have sealed the verdict.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, when the Padres couldn't win in extra innings last year, it was the same kind of thing. You got to play to win the game at the end, and Lincoln Riley's not getting it done.
So if you're a college football fan, how cool is Oregon being number 1? How wild is college football right now? So Oregon becomes the 5th different team in number 1 since the start of the season, and we've had 4 different number 1s in the last 7 weeks. I mean, it's just college football is amazing. Any USC Trojan fan out there? Anybody left? We'll talk about that too. Join us in Fans Forum.